You have been trying to become who you already are. All this time, you've been searching for the version of yourself that already exists, breathing quietly in a parallel layer of reality, waiting for you to remember. The truth is, you were never separate from it. You were never waiting for it to arrive. You were simply learning how to align with what was always here. Most people spend their lives chasing what they believe is missing. They repeat affirmations, visualize outcomes, and call it manifestation. But deep down, they still feel the distance between where they are and what they want. That distance is not real. It is a vibration. It is the echo of a thought that whispers, "I am not there yet." And that single belief keeps them bound to the timeline of waiting. Reality does not unfold through time. It collapses through frequency. Every moment, infinite versions of you exist, each living out a different expression of the same consciousness. Some versions struggle. Some rise. Some have already arrived. You are not becoming them through effort. You are tuning into them through vibration. And every emotion you hold, every breath you take, is a choice of which version you want to live as. When you understand this, manifestation stops being a process of chasing. It becomes an act of remembering. You begin to see that your thoughts are not creating your future. They are selecting it. You are not asking the universe for something new. You are aligning with the timeline where it already exists. The field is not testing you. It is mirroring you. And that mirror never lies. Think about the moments you felt frustrated because things were not moving fast enough. The times you believed you were doing everything right but still couldn't see results. That energy of almost is what kept you anchored in delay. You were broadcasting the frequency of trying instead of being. You were sending out a signal of becoming instead of knowing. And the field, faithful to vibration, could only respond with more reasons to wait. But there comes a quiet moment, one that doesn't look dramatic, when you finally stop asking. You stop trying to prove. You stop chasing what already belongs to you. In that stillness, something shifts. It's subtle, like a change in air pressure, but you feel it. The space inside you opens, and for the first time, you realize the future is not in front of you. It's around you. The only thing that ever separated you from it was frequency. Quantum jumping is not about escaping this life to find another. It's about recognizing that you are already living in countless realities, and each one is shaped by the energy you embody now. Every feeling, every belief, every moment of trust or fear determines which version of yourself you tune into. When you learn to master this tuning, you stop walking toward your future and start collapsing into it. Take a breath. Feel it move through your body. That simple act of awareness is your first jump. You just synchronized your energy with the field. The same force that forms stars, bends light, and connects galaxies is now responding to you. Every inhale aligns you with potential. Every exhale collapses a possibility into form. The difference between ordinary breathing and conscious breathing is awareness. And awareness is the bridge between worlds. You do not need to try harder. You need to become clearer. Clarity is the highest frequency of creation. When you feel without contradiction, the universe doesn't hesitate. It mirrors you instantly. This is why miracles often happen in moments of surrender, not in moments of effort. The energy of trying says, "I am not there yet." The energy of surrender says, "I already am." And when you begin to live from that space, everything starts to change. The people who match your new vibration appear effortlessly. The opportunities you once chased start to find you. Even your thoughts soften, becoming lighter, calmer, more fluid. You begin to feel like life is not something happening to you, but something happening through you. That is coherence. Coherence is when your mind, your body, and your emotions agree. It is when your thoughts stop arguing with your feelings and your energy becomes one steady signal. The moment you reach coherence, the quantum field has no choice but to respond. That is the physics of consciousness. It is not personal, it is precise. This is why some people seem to manifest effortlessly. They don't know more, they just feel safer. Their nervous system trusts the field. They live in openness instead of tension, and that openness becomes their alignment. You can do the same. You can stop living in the timeline of waiting and start living in the frequency of arrival. The field doesn't need time to deliver your desires. It only needs a clear signal. That signal is generated by emotion, not thought. Thoughts set the direction. Emotion provides the voltage. Without voltage, there is no collapse. Without collapse, reality cannot reorganize. So your task is simple, but not easy. You must learn to feel first. You must train your body to experience the future before it arrives. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine your parallel self, the version of you who already lives the life you desire. They are not separate from you. They are simply vibrating at a higher consistency of peace, confidence, and certainty. That version of you feels no rush, no doubt, no gap. They walk as if reality bends in their favor, because it does. And the more you embody that emotion now, the faster your world starts to rearrange itself to match. This is the essence of quantum jumping. You do not move through time, you move through states of being. The jump happens the moment you stop identifying as the one who is trying and start identifying as the one who already is. When you reach that awareness, your life begins to transform not gradually, but instantly, because reality doesn't need to catch up. It needs to synchronize. Now take another breath, this time with full awareness. Feel the air, feel your lungs, feel your chest expand, feel your body respond. That is coherence forming within you. The jump is beginning. You are not waiting for your future anymore. Your future is aligning with you right here in this moment. If this message resonates with something inside you, it's not random, it's a signal. It means you are remembering. So, as a way to anchor this energy, subscribe to Infinite Quantum now. Not for the algorithm, not for numbers, but as a declaration to the field that you are awake, present, and ready to live as the version of yourself that already exists. Because here, you are not just a viewer, you are part of the frequency. Time is the most beautiful and the most deceiving illusion ever created. It gives you the sense of progress, of movement, of becoming. But in the quantum field, nothing is moving forward. Everything is happening now. All timelines, all versions, all realities are stacked in the same infinite moment. The only thing that shifts is your vibration, and your vibration decides which layer of that infinite moment you perceive. You have been taught to wait. Since childhood, life has programmed you to believe that everything important takes time. You must study long enough to be smart, work hard enough to be worthy, heal slow enough to prove that you've suffered enough. That programming created an invisible contract between your mind and time, one that whispers, you cannot have it yet. And without realizing it, you begin to worship time as the gatekeeper of all miracles. But time does not deliver anything. It reflects you. It mirrors your now. Every second you wait for something, you are sending a signal of distance to the field. And the field, precise as ever, must echo that signal back. That is why so many people spend years doing spiritual work and still feel stuck. They are meditating in the frequency of not yet. They are visualizing through the lens of absence. They are trying to escape their present moment instead of transforming it. There is a deeper truth beneath all this. Waiting is not patience. It is resistance disguised as faith. When you say, "I'm trusting divine timing," but deep inside you feel the ache of not having, you are not trusting. You are postponing. True trust is not about waiting. It is about being. It is the knowing that there is no gap between you and your desire, no future event to chase, no delay to overcome. Everything you want already exists as a frequency. The moment you tune to it, you collapse it. The longer you wait, the louder the illusion becomes. The mind keeps asking, when will it happen? How long will it take? What else do I need to do? Each question creates another layer of distance. Because the more you define your dream as something in the future, the more you separate from it now. The mind believes it is helping by tracking progress, but the field doesn't measure time. It measures coherence. You can spend years of effort and still move nowhere if your vibration keeps broadcasting, "I'm not there yet." The shift happens when you realize that nothing in the quantum field is truly far. Distance and delay exist only in perception. Everything is one frequency away. Every timeline is already touching you. You don't have to move through time to reach it. You only have to stop contradicting it. When your mind, body, and emotions stop sending mixed signals, the field aligns instantly. It bends reality around your coherence. So how do you dissolve the trap of waiting? You begin by remembering that time is not outside you. It's an extension of your vibration. When you slow down inside, time slows down outside. When you become fully present, time stops altogether. The moment you enter presence, the illusion of delay collapses. Because in presence, everything is already complete. Think about the moments when you lost track of time, when you were so absorbed in love, or creativity, or peace, that minutes turned into hours and hours felt like seconds. In those moments, you were free from the linear illusion. You were living as your quantum self. You were not waiting for life. You were experiencing it fully. That is the vibration of manifestation. The more you live there, the faster life mirrors it back. Waiting is the language of fear. Presence is the language of creation. Fear asks when. Presence says now. Fear observes what is missing. Presence observes what is here. Fear collapses possibilities into limitation. Presence expands them into infinity. You get to choose which one speaks for you. Every time you say, "I'll feel grateful when it happens," you delay it. Every time you say, "I already feel grateful now," you call it closer. Gratitude is not an after effect. It's a command. It's the frequency that tells the field, "This is already true for me." The more you feel it, the more reality bends to confirm it. Most people do not realize that they are not waiting for the universe to respond. The universe is waiting for them to stop hesitating. The field cannot collapse when your signal keeps changing. It reads consistency, not effort. The moment you become steady, the moment you stop oscillating between hope and doubt, your timeline locks in. So the real question is not, how long will it take, but how clearly can I feel it now? Because clarity is faster than time. When your energy stops contradicting your intention, the universe does not have to travel across space to deliver it. It simply mirrors your coherence. The delay was never out there. It was always the gap between what you believe and what you feel. When you finally understand this, time becomes a servant, not a master. It stretches or compresses according to your vibration. Things that used to take years start to unfold in days, sometimes in hours, sometimes instantly. Because once coherence is achieved, reality cannot resist. It must collapse in alignment with the signal you are broadcasting. You can begin practicing this right now. Stop measuring your progress in days and weeks. Measure it in presence. Each breath you take in full awareness is worth more than a month of mental effort. Each time you choose trust over doubt, peace over impatience, you are collapsing another layer of delay. You are proving to the field that you are ready to synchronize. The trap of waiting ends the moment you stop postponing your happiness. You don't need to earn joy through results. Joy is the vibration that creates results. You don't have to deserve love before you feel it. Feeling love now is what allows it to find you. Everything you desire wants to meet you in the present, not in the future. So take a deep breath. Let it move through your body slowly. Feel the stillness that exists underneath your thoughts. That stillness is not empty. It is full of information. It is the hum of your parallel realities, waiting to be collapsed by your coherence. Time cannot exist inside that stillness. There, everything is now. You have never been waiting for your future. Your future has been waiting for you. Reality is not unfolding around you. It is collapsing through you. Every moment, every detail, every coincidence that seems random is actually a mirror reflecting the signal you are broadcasting right now. You are not walking through time like a traveler. Time is folding itself around your vibration. You are not a passenger of creation. You are the center of it. For most of your life, you have been taught that the world exists outside of you, that events happen to you, and that you must react, adapt, survive. But quantum physics reveals something far more extraordinary. The universe does not exist as a fixed structure waiting to be observed. It exists as a wave of infinite possibilities until you observe it. And when you do, it chooses, it collapses, it becomes form according to your frequency. Think about that for a moment. The simple act of your awareness organizes energy into matter. Observation is not passive, it is creative. Every emotion, every expectation, every subtle thought you hold becomes an instruction to the field. The more coherent that instruction, the faster reality obeys. You are not just witnessing existence, you are causing it. Most people look at their circumstances and say, "This is my reality." But in truth, their reality is only the echo of what they have already broadcasted. It's a snapshot of their past vibration. They are not seeing what is real. They are seeing what was. The moment they shift their frequency, the scene changes. What was once impossible becomes obvious. What was once heavy becomes light. Because the field can only show you who you are being now. When you understand this, everything changes. You stop waiting for signs because you realize you are the sign. You stop chasing proof because you realize that proof follows coherence. The universe is not testing your faith, it is responding to it. What you expect is what you collapse. What you fear is what you feed. What you know without doubt is what becomes solid. This is the observer effect in its purest form. The double-slit experiments proved it. Light behaves as a wave of potential until it is measured. The moment an observer looks, the wave collapses into a particle. And that collapse doesn't depend on equipment or technology. It depends on consciousness. The field is aware of being observed. It reorganizes itself according to expectation. You are that observer. You are the consciousness looking into the wave of infinite timelines and deciding, through emotion and focus, which one will crystallize into your life. This is not metaphor. It is measurable. It is the same principle that governs all energy. Coherence amplifies creation. The clearer your signal, the faster the wave collapses. But here's what most people miss. They think they are observing to get proof. They watch their lives, waiting for results, scanning for evidence, asking, "Is it working yet?" And by doing that, they send mixed signals. They observe with doubt instead of knowing. They collapse uncertainty instead of clarity. The field, ever faithful, mirrors the uncertainty perfectly. The true observer doesn't look for proof. The true observer knows. They don't seek reassurance from matter. They generate certainty from within. Their observation doesn't come from curiosity. It comes from identity. They see the world not as something separate, but as an extension of their own awareness. And because of that, everything they touch becomes aligned. The field responds instantly to this level of congruence. When your thoughts, emotions, and body are saying the same thing, the universe bends without resistance. It's not about positive thinking. It's about consistent being. Reality collapses not to your hopes, but to your dominant vibration. If you hope for abundance, but feel fear, the field collapses scarcity. If you speak love, but radiate insecurity, the field collapses distance. The field does not interpret words. It reads frequency. You have always been collapsing reality. Every moment of your life has been a chain of collapses determined by your coherence. Every breath you take, every heartbeat, every emotional charge sends information into the field, instructing it what to become next. The universe doesn't skip a beat. It listens to every signal, every second. Once you realize this, the question is no longer, how do I make it happen? The question becomes, what am I broadcasting right now? Because that broadcast is not waiting for tomorrow. It is shaping the next frame of your reality in this exact moment. Imagine watching a film frame by frame. The movie seems continuous, but it is a series of still images collapsing in sequence. That is how your reality operates. Each moment you align, the next frame appears clear. Each moment you doubt, the next frame blurs. The pace of manifestation is determined not by time, but by the steadiness of your signal. When you start to live as the observer, life begins to feel lighter. You no longer panic when things seem uncertain, because you understand that uncertainty is just an uncollapsed wave. You no longer chase validation, because you know that what you focus on must solidify. You begin to walk through life with quiet confidence, knowing that the field is always following your gaze. This is the difference between living in reaction and living in creation. Reaction says, I'll believe it when I see it. Creation says, I'll see it because I already believe it. And the moment you make that shift, the entire structure of your world rearranges. What once seemed random begins to synchronize. What once felt heavy begins to flow. You are not a victim of observation. You are the observer that reality bends for. And every time you remember this truth, your vibration sharpens, your coherence strengthens, and your timeline accelerates. The jump doesn't begin when the world changes. It begins the moment you realize you were never separate from the power that makes it change. Thoughts create direction, but emotion creates reality. You can think of 1,000 dreams, write them down, visualize them perfectly. But if your emotion doesn't match them, they stay as light, uncollapsed, floating in the quantum field, waiting for a signal strong enough to become form. Emotion is not weakness. It is energy in motion, the bridge between the unseen and the visible. Every feeling you carry is a frequency, and that frequency sends a command to the field. When you feel joy, you broadcast coherence. When you feel fear, you broadcast distortion. The field is not judging you. It simply mirrors what you are sending with perfect precision. Most people think manifestation is about controlling thoughts, but the universe doesn't listen to words. It listens to voltage. Thoughts whisper, emotions shout. Thoughts describe what you want. Emotions declare what you believe. You don't manifest what you think you deserve. You manifest what you emotionally identify as true. That's why you can repeat positive affirmations for months and see no change. Yet one moment of deep gratitude can shift your entire world. Gratitude carries a high electrical charge. It tells the field, I already have it. That single statement, felt sincerely, collapses the distance between you and what you've been asking for. The body feels complete, the mind stops seeking, and the universe reflects completion. When you understand this, you stop chasing more information and start cultivating deeper feeling. You realize that you don't need to earn your manifestation with effort. You need to generate it with emotion. You need to let your body feel now what your mind keeps postponing for later. Because when the body believes, reality obeys. Emotion is the code that the quantum field reads. Every vibration of joy, sadness, love, or fear carries information. That information tells the universe who you are being. And the universe, precise and neutral, mirrors that state without delay. It's not personal, it's mathematical. The match is perfect every time. So when you feel scarcity, even while saying the word abundance, the field mirrors scarcity. When you say, I am loved, but your heart still vibrates with abandonment, the field mirrors loneliness. This is not punishment, it's feedback. The field is teaching you how aligned or misaligned your vibration is. Most people misunderstand this feedback and call it failure. But it's not failure, it's calibration. Every emotion that arises is an opportunity to refine your signal. The faster you recognize what you're feeling, the faster you adjust your frequency. Emotion is not something to suppress. It's data, it's guidance, it's your compass in the quantum field. Close your eyes and remember a moment of peace, even if it was brief. Notice how your body responds. Your shoulders soften, your breath slows, your heart feels spacious. That physical change is not imaginary. It's the electromagnetic signature of coherence. In that state, your field becomes organized, and the universe responds immediately. You can't fake emotion. You can't trick the field with words, while your body trembles in doubt. The field reads honesty. That's why pretending doesn't work, but presence does. When you fully feel an emotion, even one of sadness or fear, and allow it to move without resistance, you clear interference. You return to coherence. This is why emotion is the language of collapse. When the feeling is pure enough, the wave collapses instantly. The stronger and cleaner the signal, the faster the reflection. Emotion compresses possibility into form. It is the electricity that turns potential into experience. So instead of asking, how do I manifest faster? Ask, how do I feel clearer? Because clarity of feeling is speed. The body cannot lie. It always broadcasts your truth, even when your words disagree. Every heartbeat, every tone of voice, every breath you take tells the field whether you are in coherence or contradiction. This is why self-awareness is the real art of manifestation. You must become aware of what you are feeling, even when you don't want to feel it. You must stop labeling emotions as good or bad and start seeing them as signals. When you embrace them fully, they lose their control over you. They transform from distortion into power. A single moment of sincere peace can do more for your timeline than months of struggle. A single act of emotional honesty can release years of resistance, because emotion is not separate from creation. It is creation in motion. When you feel love, the field must reflect love. When you feel freedom, the field must open doors. When you feel whole, the field must rearrange itself to match that wholeness. You are not waiting for the universe to grant you what you desire. You are teaching your body how to vibrate as if it already has it. Once your nervous system recognizes the feeling of abundance, abundance becomes your baseline. Once your heart normalizes the feeling of love, love stops being a pursuit and becomes your environment. So take a breath. Feel the emotion that aligns with your desire. Don't chase it, generate it. Feel the gratitude, not for what's coming, but for what is already vibrating here. Because the truth is, it's not coming. It's here, waiting for you to feel it clearly enough for the field to collapse around it. Emotion is the key that turns awareness into reality. It's the song your soul plays to the universe, and the universe always sings back in harmony. The mind can know truth, but only the body can prove it. Your body is the most precise instrument of manifestation you will ever have. Every breath, every movement, every heartbeat is a message to the field. It doesn't wait for your words. It listens to your posture, your rhythm, your chemistry. When your body begins to act as if your dream is already real, the field has no choice but to comply. You can say, "I am confident," but if your shoulders collapse, the field reads doubt. You can say, "I am free," but if your breath is shallow, the field hears fear. You can't fake coherence. The body never lies. It is the loudest voice of your vibration, the translator between your inner and outer world. Most people try to manifest with their minds, while their bodies still vibrate in survival. They visualize abundance but breathe scarcity. They imagine love but carry tension in their hearts. They repeat affirmations while their nervous system whispers, "Not yet." That mismatch creates interference. The universe doesn't punish it, but it cannot respond clearly. The signal is fragmented. Embodiment is the art of removing that interference. It is the act of teaching your body what your mind already knows. It's not pretending, it's not forcing. It's feeling until it becomes natural. It's breathing as the version of you who already arrived. Walking as that version, speaking as that version, resting as that version. The more your physical state aligns with your desired reality, the faster the field mirrors it back. The body learns through repetition and emotion. Every time you align your breath with peace, every time you move with trust, every time you soften where you used to tense, you rewire your biology. You send new data to your cells that says, "This is who we are now." That is how embodiment becomes transformation. Coherence between mind, emotion, and body is what makes manifestation instant. When they say the same thing, reality bends without resistance. When the body still contradicts the mind, reality hesitates. The goal isn't perfection, it's consistency. A single moment of full body coherence can collapse timelines faster than months of mental effort. Your nervous system is the gateway to the quantum field. It carries every signal you broadcast. That's why healing is not a side mission. It's the main work. You cannot jump timelines with a body still wired for danger. When you calm your system, when you breathe deeply enough for your body to feel safe, you become magnetic. Safety is coherence. Peace is speed. Feel your breath now. Notice how it moves. Are you rushing it or allowing it? Each inhale is a signal. Each exhale is surrender. When the breath becomes rhythmic and steady, your signal stabilizes. That is when the jump begins. The field doesn't respond to tension, it responds to trust. The moment your breath proves your belief, reality collapses accordingly. Embodiment is not about control, it's about surrender. It's not about doing more, it's about allowing your body to be honest. When you let yourself feel what is true in this moment, you open space for energy to reorganize. Resistance lives in the muscles, in the heartbeat, in the jaw that refuses to relax. Release that, and you release the delay. You don't need to force new behavior. You need to embody new being. The version of you who has already leaped into the next timeline breathes slower, moves slower, trusts more. They don't rush, they don't chase. They walk as if life is responding, because it is. When you begin to move like that, the field recalibrates immediately. In physics, This is called entrainment. When two oscillating systems interact, the one with the stronger, steadier rhythm pulls the other into synchronization. Your body is that stronger system. When you hold a stable frequency of peace and knowing, your external reality, which is softer and slower, has no choice but to match it. This is not mysticism, it's resonance. You don't attract what you want, you entrain what you are. Your energy becomes the dominant rhythm, and everything around you reorganizes to match your stability. The key is to hold that rhythm long enough for the universe to register it as your new baseline. Once it does, the old timeline dissolves, and the new one becomes natural. The mistake most people make is waiting for evidence before embodying. They want to feel successful once the results appear, to feel loved once the partner arrives, to feel free once the debt is gone. But waiting keeps the body loyal to the past. Your nervous system stays calibrated to the timeline of absence. The field reads that loyalty and reflects it faithfully. To reverse this, you must feel first. Act from the timeline you desire, not toward it. This isn't delusion, it's instruction. The field receives it as fact. When you wake up and stretch with gratitude before any proof has arrived, you are broadcasting completion. When you smile without reason, you are telling the field that joy is your normal state. When you walk with relaxed certainty, you are collapsing the version of you who used to doubt. Embodiment is how you teach the universe who you are now. Every physical act becomes a declaration. The way you breathe, the way you sit, the way you look at life. When all of it aligns with your chosen reality, creation becomes effortless. You stop chasing timelines and start stabilizing them. You stop asking when and start being now. That is when manifestation becomes instantaneous, not because you forced it, but because your entire being became the frequency that makes waiting impossible. The fastest form of creation is not thought, it's embodiment. Because when the body believes, reality doesn't argue, it follows. Stillness is not the absence of movement, it is the presence of perfect rhythm. Beneath every rushing thought and heartbeat, there is a deeper pulse, quiet, steady, and timeless. That pulse is the language of the universe. It is not moving toward anything because it already holds everything. When you find that stillness within yourself, you discover the true speed of manifestation. We are taught to equate motion with progress, to believe that the more we do, the faster we reach what we want. But in the quantum world, effort is friction. Trying too hard introduces turbulence into the field. The universe does not respond to intensity. It responds to precision. And precision happens only in stillness. Stillness is the paradox that bends time. The moment you stop chasing, you start collapsing. The moment you stop trying to make it happen, it begins to unfold by itself. The field does not need you to move, it needs you to match. And matching requires silence, presence, and faith. Think about water. When it is still, it reflects perfectly. The sky, the stars, the light, all become visible within it. But when the surface is disturbed, even the most beautiful reflection disappears. Your energy works the same way. When your mind is restless, reality becomes distorted. When you are still, it mirrors clarity. You are not meant to fight your future. You are meant to feel its pull. The higher timeline you desire is already vibrating around you. The more you quiet the noise of fear and control, the more you can sense it. The future does not arrive from distance. It arrives through resonance. It begins to draw you in gently, like gravity. This is the paradox of acceleration. The faster you want it, the more still you must become. Speed, in the quantum sense, is not movement through space, but alignment of vibration. When your frequency locks perfectly into coherence, the field has nothing left to delay against. Reality collapses instantly because resistance no longer exists. Stillness is not passive. It is participatory. It is not about doing nothing. It is about doing only what matches your frequency. When you move from stillness, your actions are precise, effortless, and guided. You find yourself saying the right words at the right time, meeting the right people without trying, stepping into opportunities that feel inevitable. That is synchronicity, and it is born from stillness. You have experienced this before. The moment you stopped worrying about something, it resolved itself. The moment you stopped forcing a connection, it deepened naturally. That is because surrender is not weakness. It is alignment. It tells the field, I trust your intelligence more than my control. And the field always rewards trust with speed. When you enter stillness, time loses its grip. Minutes stretch, sensations heighten, and awareness expands. You begin to feel the hum beneath everything, the vibration that connects all forms of life. That hum is the quantum field recognizing itself through you. You are not outside of it observing it. You are it, expressing itself as awareness. This realization changes how you live. You no longer wake up rushing to control outcomes. You start waking up to listen. You feel guided instead of pressured. You stop seeking signs and start following resonance. Your movements become gentle but powerful, subtle but certain. You are no longer chasing alignment. You are alignment. Stillness also reveals what you were avoiding. When you stop running, old emotions surface, unfinished energies rise to be cleared. This is part of coherence. Stillness does not hide your shadow. It integrates it. Every emotion you allow to move through you without resistance becomes light again. Every fear you observe with love dissolves into energy you can use. The mind fears stillness because it cannot measure it. But the heart thrives in stillness because it recognizes home. The more you rest in that space, the more natural it feels. You start realizing that peace was never a reward for achievement. It was the frequency that creates achievement. When you embody this truth, manifestation stops being a process. It becomes a state. There is no need to push reality anymore because you are vibrating in harmony with it. You start to experience what ancient teachers called flow, a rhythm where effort disappears. And everything happens in divine timing because your energy has become time itself. The field does not care how long it takes. It only cares how coherent you are. And coherence is the natural byproduct of stillness. Every breath you take in awareness refines it. Every pause between thoughts deepens it. Every moment you stop reacting and simply feel, you strengthen the signal. So when life feels chaotic, do not push harder. Be stiller. When everything seems uncertain, do not reach for control. Reach for presence. When the mind screams, I must fix this, let the heart whisper, I am already whole. That single shift will change the trajectory of your entire reality. Now take a moment to feel the quiet inside you. The silence you sense is not empty. It is full of information. Every timeline you desire exists within that stillness. Every outcome you seek is encoded in that peace. The quieter you become, the faster you hear it calling. If this stillness speaks to you, leave a comment below. Not for the algorithm, not for attention, but as a signal to the field that you are awake within the silence. Every comment here becomes an echo of coherence, a wave of awareness rippling across timelines. Together, we anchor this stillness into the collective field. Because the world does not need more noise. It needs more people who remember the power of being still. There is a moment that cannot be planned or predicted. It does not arrive after enough practice or enough affirmations. It comes quietly, like a breath between thoughts. When everything inside you aligns so perfectly, that the universe has no choice but to rearrange itself. That is the collapse moment. The collapse moment is not dramatic. It doesn't shout or flash. It feels like remembering something ancient and familiar. You wake up one morning and the thing you have been trying to manifest no longer feels distant. It feels obvious, natural, as if it had always been here. You look around and realize that the energy you used to chase has become the air you breathe. This moment does not come from effort. It comes from coherence. When your vibration becomes steady enough to stop contradicting itself, reality shifts with precision. The wave turns to particle. The unseen becomes seen. What was potential becomes physical. It happens faster than logic allows because it does not follow logic. It follows frequency. You may not even notice it at first. There will be no grand signal, no sudden explosion of miracles. Instead, there is peace. A peace so deep that you forget what waiting felt like. Your body stops asking. Your mind stops questioning. Your heart feels full. And that fullness, that neutrality, is the sign that your energy has completed the jump. In that instant, you are no longer calling your future. You are living inside it. The conversations change. The synchronicities multiply. The people around you start reflecting your new state. You feel guided by an invisible rhythm, as if the field itself is moving you. You are not chasing. You are being carried. The collapse moment is the quantum echo of everything you have practiced, every breath, every emotion, every act of presence. It is the universe responding to your consistency with absolute precision. Nothing is random in this state. Every detail fits perfectly. Every outcome arrives at the right time, because time itself is bending to your coherence. This is why manifestation can feel slow for years, and then instantaneous in a single day. You are not being rewarded for patience. You are simply becoming stable enough to hold the reality you asked for. The delay was never about worthiness. It was about readiness. The field cannot collapse, something you cannot sustain. The moment your energy can hold it, it appears whole and complete. When this happens, gratitude flows without effort. You stop thanking the universe for what arrived and start thanking yourself for remembering who you are. You realize that nothing new came to you. You simply became the version of yourself where it was already true. The world did not deliver your dream. It rearranged itself to fit your vibration. The collapse moment is not an end. It is a beginning. Because what collapses is not only the wave of reality, but the identity that kept you waiting. The version of you that needed proof dissolves, and a new self emerges lighter, quieter, infinitely more present. You can feel it in your breath, in your heartbeat, in the way silence feels alive around you. This new state of being is subtle yet powerful. The mind may not understand it, but the body knows. The nervous system calms, your pace slows, your choices flow effortlessly. You begin to act without hesitation, speak without fear, and move without doubt. Every gesture, every thought, every emotion feels aligned. That is the proof of collapse. And because energy never stops, the collapse moment opens the doorway to the next. Once you experience alignment at this level, you realize that reality is not something you achieve once. It is something you continually tune. Each time you stabilize, a new timeline appears, waiting to be embodied. The collapse moment teaches you that creation is not a destination. It is a frequency you return to again and again, each time more effortlessly. You stop searching for quantum leaps and start living in quantum flow. You stop asking for miracles because everything you do becomes one. There is nothing mystical about this. It is pure precision. The universe has always been mechanical in its magic. It mirrors exactly what you are ready to hold. When you reach full coherence, the mirror stops lagging. The reflection becomes instantaneous. thought, feeling, and form merge into one continuum. You think it, you feel it, it is. When you experience this, you realize that the field is not outside you. It is breathing with you. It collapses and expands as you do. The line between observer and observed disappears. You and the universe become the same awareness, folding in on itself, creating endlessly, peacefully, without effort. And perhaps the most beautiful part is this. Once you've reached that level of alignment, you no longer need to prove anything to yourself or anyone else. The proof is your peace. The evidence is your calm. The manifestation is the silence that hums with completion. Reality does not need time to become real. It only needs you to stop doubting what you already are. The collapse moment is not ahead of you. It is happening now. Every breath that vibrates in coherence is another universe folding into existence around you. The more you feel it, the faster it becomes undeniable. This is how creation truly works. It does not build, it folds. It does not deliver, it responds. It does not wait. It collapses perfectly, precisely, in harmony with who you are being right now. After the collapse, there is silence. Not an empty silence, but one that feels full and alive, like the air right before dawn. This is integration. The universe has already rearranged itself. Now it is your turn to let your energy settle into the new shape you have created. Integration is where you stop doing and start being. It is where the version of you that made the leap begins to breathe through your body. You start to notice the world differently. Colors feel sharper. Time feels softer. Even ordinary sounds seem sacred. That is not imagination. That is reality, adjusting to your new vibration. The collapse moment was the flash, the awakening, the expansion. Integration is the embodiment of that expansion. It is the quiet realization that you do not need to chase or repeat anything. You are already living the frequency that once felt unreachable. Every step you take from this state is not an effort to create. It is an act of maintaining coherence. You will know you are integrating when your desires begin to feel less like needs and more like expressions of joy. When the things you once worried about stop feeling urgent. When peace becomes your natural pace. You begin to understand that manifestation is not about adding more to your life. It is about removing everything that made you forget you already had it. Integration asks for gentleness. It asks you to care for your new energy like you would care for something sacred. Eat slowly, move consciously, speak softly. Let your body learn what it means to exist without tension. The more you honor that stillness, the stronger it becomes. The jump is complete, but the stabilization takes patience and presence. There may be moments when old energies try to return, old thoughts or patterns that once defined you. Don't fight them. Recognize them as memories of an outdated frequency. They only surface so that you can choose differently now. Smile at them. Breathe through them. Thank them for teaching you who you no longer are. Integration is not about perfection. It is about awareness. Each time you choose to stay coherent, you strengthen the timeline you just collapsed into. Every breath of peace builds a bridge that keeps you connected to this higher state. Every act of self-trust becomes a new foundation. Remember that the universe responds not to how much you know, but to how consistently you stay aligned. You don't have to hold this state with tension. You simply return to it each time you drift. That returning is mastery. That returning is creation. As you live from this space, synchronicities will keep unfolding. You'll find yourself in the right place at the right time, not by luck, but by coherence. Life starts to feel lighter because you are no longer walking through it. You are floating within it. You are the field in motion, the observer, and the observed, dancing in harmony. Let this awareness become your rhythm. Wake up each day not asking for proof, but listening for resonance. Notice what feels alive and follow it. Let curiosity replace control. Let peace replace urgency. You are no longer on a journey towards something. You are the journey itself. And as you integrate, something beautiful happens. You begin to sense a new call, a subtle pull toward an even higher coherence. The field is infinite, and each realization opens the next. You are never done, because creation never ends. You will keep leaping again and again, not from lack, but from love. So take one last deep breath. Feel the expansion in your chest. Feel how the energy that once felt far away is now part of your heartbeat. The quantum jump is not a story you heard. It is a frequency you became. You are the living proof that reality bends to coherence. If you can feel that, stay connected. In the next transmission, we will explore how to stabilize your new timeline so that your leap becomes your new normal. Until then, stay coherent, stay awake, and remember that you were never chasing a future. You were always collapsing into the truth of who you already are.